this evening to bring forward in the docket of February 14th, 2020. I entertain a motion to transfer $8,910 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1210100-524011 Police Building Maintenance for funding to replace a bullet-resistant transaction window in the police department lobby.
Second.
Okay. I went over and made a visit this past week with Kyle. I took up my phone at home, but I took a picture. That window was really fractured. It looks like a spider web on a windshield. It's my description of it. It's definitely not safe for the dispatcher, whoever is sitting behind that window. I know the money sounds like a lot of money for a piece of glass, but it's bulletproof glass, and I'm assuming that it's going to be more elaborate than that piece that's in there at this point. It'll be an update. But for the safety of the dispatchers and the police officer answering that window, I think it's more or less an emergency to get it replaced. And my committee, I think you've both seen it,
Yes.
correct? Todd?
I've been over there. I've seen it. It's clearly fractured, and I get it that bulletproof glass is expensive, so fully support this.
Any other comments, questions? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Also, I had a piece of new business from last week about the intersection on Rockland Avenue and West Street, I believe. That corner. I visited it this week. I'm waiting for some information from President Cooper so I can get in touch personally with the person on that corner that's looking for some help and see what we can do to straighten it out. Definitely, I sat there on West Street and watched them come down Rockland Ave from North Attleboro. I did not see a single car stop. And I think there was 6 of them went through that intersection. Coming from North Attleboro, you got a pretty clear view of what's happening, but other than adding a stop sign coming from South Avenue towards Rockland Ave, there's no stop sign there. You could make it a 3-way stop. Maybe add a light, flashing light, but I'm gonna ask Chief Hagney that in the future, if he would increase the patrols up there to see, firsthand what's going on. But it's a 3-way intersection, and people coming from 2 of those directions, you got a pretty clear view, and you get all roll-throughs. I was there for 5 minutes. I'm not going to say I was there a half hour. But in 5 minutes, I seen a half a dozen cars go by, and not a single one of them come to a full stop coming from North Attleboro. So I will get in touch as soon as Mr. Cooper gives us that information. I'll call a resident and
I'll get it to you tonight.
see if I can get some input from them. They live there.
Right. Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
I have no other business this evening. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:04.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call the Transportation and Traffic Committee to order at 7:04. I have 2 items to move forward, and then I just wanted to provide the committee with an update, if I may. From the docket of January 7th, I entertain a motion to strike the following. A communication from James Souther requesting assistance with parking issues on Falmouth Street. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Just by way of update, Mr. Souther contacted the office with some concerns about parking on both sides of Falmouth. I drove by the signs that were posted. It is posted as no parking already, but the signs that were posted, some of them were almost illegible from fading, and there wasn't a sufficient amount, so I contacted Mike Tyler. He drove by, reached a similar conclusion, and pretty much the next week was on site replacing the old signs and installing a few new ones. So I think the problem has been resolved satisfactorily. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Awesome, thank you. Second item from the docket of January 7th, 2020. December 17th. I guess that's 2019. This is the Beagle Club Road. I entertain a motion to approve the deletions from the revised ordinance of the City of Attleboro. Delete only the following wording from section 10-5.2A. Also see section 10-5.15 seasonally prohibited on certain streets. Delete in its entirety section 10-5.15 seasonally prohibited on certain streets. Parking upon the following streets or highway or parts thereof is hereby prohibited during the dates described herein. Beagle Club Road, both sides of the entire street from June 1 through and including the day after Labor Day of each year.
Second.
Thank you. As you know, we had a public hearing last week. I don't recall anybody coming forward, so I think the time is right to move this along. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, awesome, thank you. Motion passes. By way of a general update on the other myriad matters on the Transportation Traffic Committee docket, some of those stem from the fact that the Traffic Study Commission has been distracted with other matters. They're meeting again on February 6th, at which point I hope to get some more action on some of these pending matters to kind of get them moving along. I did speak on one issue relating to a request from Mr. Charles Falugo, from the docket of January 7, 2020. Mr. Falugo noticed that when you take the turn from Pleasant to turn onto Park at Gilbert Perry, that kind of half rotary there, that there is in fact no traffic signs, there's no yield, there's no stop, there's nothing to indicate to motorists that there's oncoming traffic coming under the bridge. And for those of us who live here, it's something you might not notice, but I'm thinking, we're used to. But people who are new to the city, it might not occur to them that there's traffic coming from the right. So I thought it was an issue worth looking into. I didn't want to wait, so I spoke to Mike Tyler on yesterday. He concurred that it was at least worth looking into and probably warranted at least a yield sign, and I believe he was going to look into it. I believe he was going to go forward with a yield sign. Comments, questions?
You just helped me tremendously because I thought I was losing my mind when I came home home from work today, because I go down there often. I'm like, oh, there's a yield sign, and now it has.
He already did it?
Already did it, and he
just
has the
talked to him
hospital. So I'm like, God, I'm really not paying much attention.
Kudos to Mike
So,
Tyler. Yeah, it's one of those things when you're like, wow, that should have been there the whole time. So luckily, as far as I know, there weren't any accidents there, but it seemed like an appropriate thing.
Right.
So, okay, so then next week I'll move it
I
forward.
believe she has your touch.
Kudos, a nice job.
Yeah, no, thank you to Mr. Falugo and I said that in my email to him, thanks for raising it, because once you hear it, you're like, yes, so, very good. And the other items, as I said, I'll keep you posted when I can get them moving, get back in touch with the Traffic Study Commission, and that's all I have. Does anybody have anything else they care to discuss? I move to adjourn the meeting at 7:08.
Second.
Thank you very much.
Call for a
All in
motion.
favor, forgive
Aye.
me. Oh, and then may I call for a meeting at the next appropriate time? Thank you.
I'd like to call the Capital Improvement City Development Committee to order at 7:08. Sitting on this committee is Vice Chair Dolan and Councilor Waterman. I have three motions to bring before you this evening and a short discussion on the capital improvement plan. So from the docket of January 21st, 2020, has one, let's see, this will, I have to put this in the form of a motion. So I move that the roof repairs at Brennan Middle School and Warren Sutter Middle School are categorized as urgent in the fiscal year 2020-24 capital improvement program. In an effort to assist the school department in repairing these roofs, the city has been seeking funding opportunities from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, the MSBA, since at least 2009.
Point of order,
Yes?
if I may. I'm sorry. Can we read this in, even though we haven't had the public hearing, which I believe is scheduled for the 4th?
I think we can read it in before the public hearing.
So,
Otherwise, how would people in the public know what to come
so
and
we
speak
call,
on here?
so we called for a public hearing relative to this matter and for the public library matter for the fourth.
For the
Both
4th.
have been advertised and published and voted by the council, so I don't think there's any further action on these two matters until the public hearing is closed, at which
Okay.
time your committee would vote.
Okay, that makes things a lot simpler. And instead, we do have to have a motion to introduce the capital improvement plan so that we can have the public hearing on the 4th.
We voted that
We've
already
done
as
that
well.
well,
Yeah.
as well. Good.
We did,
Yeah.
you know what, Richard, I apologize, we did that on the night of,
Reading the mayor's communication.
yes, the night that we did the
Which is why I-
inauguration.
Which is
So
why
it
I
was,
spoke to you before the meeting saying, do I need to do this?
yes,
Right,
right. So you did, and that's why we called for them on the 4th,
right.
on that, all three of them on that same night. So from my books, the only thing
So I only
that I
have one
thought was the
motion.
one,
One motion for the committee members.
yes, that's what I thought.
And that is from the docket of January 21st.
Yes.
And if you're completely confused, I'll read you the motion. I entertain a motion to transfer $77,557.79 from account number 112410000-578-300 citywide reserve fund for transfer to account 112410000-578-020 citywide previous year's bill costs which were incurred by the EPA on the SPAC landfill project between May 1st, 2018 and April 30th, 2019. Thank you, Councilor Dolan. So, we really don't have an opportunity to say anything about this because basically the EPA does the work and sends us a bill. And whatever bill they send us, we're obligated to pay. I don't have anything further to say about it. Do we have any questions?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously.
Try that again?
Passes unanimously. So, I have no further business to bring before the council, except for a short discussion on the capital improvement plan. Tomorrow night, we meet here in the chambers at 6:30 for 5 or 6 department heads to go through their departments, and then we meet again Monday night at 6:30 in this room to go through the rest of the departments, including water and wastewater. Then the following night, Tuesday, is our public hearing night, so we'll have a public hearing on the capital improvement plan on February 4th. I've already started disseminating the information from the capital improvement plan so that we can have a constructive conversation the following week on February 11th. So that in that working meeting, I think we should be able to come to a conclusion on what we think are priorities in the urgent issues in the capital improvement plan to be able to make a recommendation to the council. If we need an additional meeting to meet, then I will call for one. We'll have a public notice posted 48 hours in advance. We'll meet in the assembly room and we'll battle it out in there to figure out what we're gonna do for our budget this year. Then we'll make that presentation to the council on the 18th, so the council can take a vote on it in a regular meeting, and we'll get the message to the mayor before he starts serious work on the budget. My understanding is that he's already started working on the budget, and it seems appropriate that this would get to him before he's sending the budget down to the council.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. That concludes the comments that I have this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Thank you. Motion's in order. All in favor? Aye. I declare the Capital Improvement City Development Committee meeting adjourned at 7:15. Thank you.
I would call the Personnel and Human Services Committee to order at, you said 7:15, so
Yep.
that's what it is. I only have one motion to present tonight, and from the docket of January 7th, 2020. I entertain a motion to add administrative assistant to the mayor as a job title to the exempt classification plan, and placing the position at grade 7 on reclassification plan and personnel rules and regulations. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you.
I don't have it.
We don't have those motions.
I don't have that motion either.
This was added in just before the meeting. I'm sorry if you don't have a copy.
I mean, it's just not on the list.
I know, it's not, I just got my copy.
Got dropped. So she just added it.
Okay. Would you like to have a copy made for you and we can come back later?
No, I'm good.
Okay, fine. All right, thank you.
Is there any discussion to this motion? Basically, this title of administrative assistant to the mayor is at the same step level, grade level, 7, as our own administrative assistant to the city council is at. It's ruled as a job similar to that. I spoke to Owen at the personnel department. And are we ready for a vote?
I have a question. Oh.
Please.
So does she, so she moves to 7, a different grade, right? She's
Yeah.
moving to a different grade. Does she start at step 1, or will she jump to whatever step?
She also jumps to step 7.
So she'll be in a new
It's a 7 and a 7.
7 and a 7, okay.
Yes. Yes, Councilor Holmes.
Thank you. I have the list of exemption and employees from Personnel Department, but it's outdated. It's from 2018. I'm wondering if the whole council can have access to that prior to this vote. It would basically be showing what the pay rates are, which we don't have right now. We don't have an updated version of that. Do you have access to that?
No, well, I don't have that copy, no.
Okay. Do you have the updated copy for?
Not
Okay.
here with me tonight. Would
Okay.
you like to hold off on this vote?
I mean, I think part of personnel, it's good for everyone to have that, and to have access to what the steps are. In general, I don't want to hold anything up, but I do think that the council should be aware.
So bring.
Thank you, Councilor.
Ty, her salary isn't gonna increase because she's already at that salary level. Is that what I understand? She's gonna be on step 7, at step 7?
I believe you're correct.
So that's, they can't lower your salary. Normally you go in at step 1, but she's making more than step 1, so she's going in at step 7. So
Correct.
it's not really affecting her at this point money-wise, and there's no room to advance either. It's just putting that job where it belongs in the pay grades, actually.
That's my understanding, yes.
You understand what I'm saying,
I
sir?
hear what you're saying, that wasn't my understanding, but
Huh?
okay. I said, I hear what you're saying, but that wasn't my understanding. I thought she received, I'd like to get a copy of what all
Oh,
the
yeah,
new duties
yeah,
are
yeah.
and stuff.
I don't think it's
Because we haven't
relevant to
gotten
a
that.
vote on this matter.
So, I mean, so again, may I speak?
Please.
I don't think we've gotten a new, the reason it moved is because I thought she was doing a lot more things than was in the prior job description. I don't think any of us, or I haven't, received anything as to what the new job description is and why we're moving it. Because now we're exactly eliminating the old position from the office. We're not keeping that there, are we? So that there would be another position to fill, right? So it would be nice
Have a job description.
if we got the job description, and we're really clear as to what was going on with the steps, you know? I thought the idea is that she was moving into doing more work, so her pay should increase. That was my understanding, but I'm a little confused if she's just staying at the same level.
I think you're absolutely correct, Sarah, if I might.
Yeah.
We do need to see a job description.
I agree with you, too.
And see both of them, what the differences are.
Councilor Jackson.
Thank you. There is going to be an upgrade in pay. She's gonna stay at the
But I-
same step, but she's going to a different grade and a different
Yes,
classification.
so, okay,
And
that's,
every year, they go up a step.
yeah, I
So-
understand that.
So she's still gonna be at her step that she's at now, but she's going to a different grade,
Mhm.
which is up to speed with what Virginia is at, so, you know. And I'm gonna suggest, and just a suggestion, that since everybody wants to see job descriptions, that perhaps, you can have somebody did anybody do a second? I can't remember. No.
I did.
Oh,
I'll withdraw my second.
Okay, and if Council Blair withdraws his second, perhaps you'll have time this week to get everything together and call for a committee meeting before the regular meeting next week. That way you can still vote it out to the full council. That's just a suggestion.
Yeah, I'm comfortable, I would be more comfortable with that. I mean, that was my understanding, is that the new position was higher, so she was getting paid more, and therein falls the raise, if you will.
I don't think she
So
would.
I think we should see all this information, we should have it, even though I believe, you know, I'm in support of it, quite frankly.
I'll go back to personnel and get the job description.
Okay.
Okay.
And find
And
out.
the pay
if I
scale,
may,
the pay scale.
Find out what her salary's gonna be in relation to what it is now, and what steps she'll fall on the new classification.
Job description.
Thank you.
Okay, there is no other business. Do we have, I'd like to call for adjournment. Do we accept?
7:20?
Meeting
We will have a meeting next week.
before the regular.
Should we meet?
Before the regular.
Quarter of 7? Will that be accurate?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, at 6:45 next week. Is there anything else? Call for adjournment now?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
So we'll meet next week at 6:45.
I'd like to call the Public Works Committee to order at 7:21 PM. I have one item of business this evening to discuss with all of you. From the docket of February 4th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $120 from account 6000-553180 wastewater enterprise fund, supplies, water, and wastewater, to account 6000-578020 wastewater enterprise fund, previous year's bills to pay in fiscal year 19 invoice from FW Web.
Second.
Thank you. So happy to see it was only $120, not like $120,000. They just received this invoice that was work that was done from last year, but they just got it last week, this invoice, so pretty straightforward. Any comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. That motion passes. I do not have any other business this evening for Public Works, but I would like to call for an adjournment at 7:22.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:22. Thank you very much.
I would like to call Budget and Appropriations Order at 7:22. I have 4 motions tonight. From the docket of February 4th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $125 from account 1124100-578300, Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer, to account 1161100-575310, clerk dues, to pay the clerk's annual dues to the Massachusetts Clerks Association.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. This is straightforward. Essentially, there was a miscalculation when the city clerk completed the budget. There's only $25 in the account, and we need $150, so this is just a bundle. Any other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. From the docket of February 4th, 2020, I entertain a motion to transfer $25,700 from account 1141100-595010 to account 1141100-541010, and transfer $500 from account 1141100-595010 assessor revaluation to account 1141100-542050 assessor supplies to pay for a computer upgrade and a laser distance meter for field inspection.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. I'm going to actually yield the floor to Council Conti, as this is certainly in his wheelhouse, for several
So-
reasons.
So, technology is advancing so fast that assessors no longer measure buildings with tape measures. Now we have a laser measuring device, that's a built-in camera, very cold. And it's a much more efficient and much more accurate, down to 1/32 of an inch. The assessor, the new assessor is doing such a fine job. The new mapping system is out, have you seen it?
Haven't seen you yet.
Oh, it's outstanding, and it's so far ahead in terms of transparency to the public of what is going on around your property. So now you can go to the assessor's website, go to a GIS map, see your property, see the plat map around your property, get a aerial photograph. It's outstanding.
That's
And
amazing.
the last system was so convoluted, it was difficult to maneuver. So very proud of what's going on in the assessing department. I highly recommend we pass this measure. That concludes my comments.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Council Cobus.
And that's, the one thing I want to make sure we mentioned is that new GIS software and how great it is. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and
Great
sorry.
progress.
Yeah, wonderful. I think Julie's come on. She's done an amazing job jumping right in, especially taking over for a seasoned assessor that we've had, and what she's done, and even just going through her first tax classification, the mapping system, really trying to move forward. So kudos to Julie. So, any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. The next two are just to pay, and I'll get into it, but just my comments for the most part are gonna be the same. Again, as we've been doing, these are invoices that were received past the date to be processed in the normal fiscal year 2019 business cycle. So the first one, I entertain a motion to authorize the school department to pay a previous year school bills totaling $14.55 as they were not received in time to be processed in the normal fiscal 2019 business cycle.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. So a couple things here. This was just an error in the PO, so it was just to bring it right up to where it should be. This passed the school committee unanimously, 8-0 on 11/18, in order for this to be brought in front of the council so we can take care of this. Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Finally, from the docket of February 4th, 2020, this was dropped, so I handwrote it, but I can get anyone a copy who needs it. I entertain a motion to authorize the Attleboro School Department to pay previous year bills totaling $35,302.04.
Second.
Thank you, Todd. So this one's a little more extensive, but again, it's just for previous year expenses. And give me one sec, I actually have a breakdown. So, it was Academic Partners Incorporated, $74.45. FL Chamberlain Center, $10,602.31. FL Chamberlain Center, $10,602.31. Chamberlain Center, $10,260.30. These are all for special education, and there's one more for $3,762.11. These all came in on October 4th of 19 for work and services done in fiscal 19, which obviously ended on June 30th. So these services we've already received. That is just to get payment for. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:27.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned at 7:27.
Call the Zoning and Land Use Committee to order at 7:27. On my committee is myself, Counselor Holmes, Counselor Delicio. We have one item tonight, and that's just to strike out an old motion. So I move to strike the following motion from the docket of October 1st, 2019. 3 communications from Nova Farms regarding the recent license suspension order from the Cannabis Control Commission, including actions taken by the company.
Second.
So this is just to strike a motion. We had some communications from Nova Farms regarding some issues they were having. Those have since been resolved. I also have an email from former Councilor Hall regarding the timeline for when they expect to open. They're waiting for a final review from the Cannabis Control Commission that's expected to happen sometime in February. As soon as they get the approval from the CCC, they should be okay to open up immediately. So potentially by the end of February, hopefully by the end of February, according to former Councilor Julie Hall, they'll have that open. And she did mention that they're planning to do a walkthrough, and they have all of our names, and so they'll send an invite as closer to when it's time to open it to invite all of us to walk through and see what the operation will look like. She did say that there would not be any products on site for that walkthrough. So it appears this is all moving forward. I don't think there's anything for us to do on the council with this, so I'm comfortable striking this motion. Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That concludes my business for the zoning and land use committee. I call for an adjournment at 7:31.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
I'd like to call License Committee to order at 7:31. I have one motion this evening from the docket of February 4th, 2020. I entertain a motion to approve the hawkers and peddlers license application from Kenneth Blaze of Paddock Lane, Attleboro, for pizza sales.
Second.
Anybody have any questions? They sell pizza out of a truck at Sky Rock
They're
and,
delicious.
oh, I haven't had it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, and that's all the business I have. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:32.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned.
7:31.
Oh, yeah, 7:32.
Okay, so, I'd like to call City Property and Claims Committee to order at 7:32. My other members are Counselor Blair and Counselor Holmes. And I have two motions. From the docket of February 4th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the generous donation of materials and labor for the COA kitchen with an approximate value of $2,500 from Lowe's of Plainville in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and it's a really great donation from Lowe's, and I'm appreciative of that, as I'm sure the Council on Aging is too. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion passes. From the docket of February 4th, 2020, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of a slightly used Kindle Fire with a value of $40 to Classroom 103 at the Thatcher Elementary School from Terry Allen.
Second.
Thank you. And again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. That is all the motions we have tonight for City Property and Claims Committee, and I would like to call for an adjournment at 7:34.
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:34.
Ordinance Election Legislative Matter Committee to order, I'm gonna call it to order briefly at 7:32. What do you,
No.
7:34?
Because Laura used it.
Okay, at 7:34. Myself, Counselor DeSimone and Counselor Jackson, we're going to have a meeting on Thursday about talking about the rent control board and possibly what that process is gonna look like. This is just a community input meeting, so I would encourage everyone to attend if they can. I know that this does conflict with something else that's happening in the city. It's also orientation night for new freshmen at the high school, so I know some of the counselors will be over at the high school and will be a little late for this, but hoping that everybody can attend and looking forward to hearing from everyone. And so that concludes the business, and I will call for an adjournment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:35. Do special.
Special committee for senior tax abatement is canceled for tonight.
The Special Committee on Rules and Procedure is going to have to call a committee soon, and so I'm going to have our administrative assistant line something up. We've gotten back the comments from the city solicitor, and it's not major, so I think we can get through that, move forward with a recommendation. So look forward to something coming up soon, and looking, and I'll cancel tonight's meeting.
Thank you. All right, that's a wrap.
I apologize for not being here